Hi, everybody. This is Donald O'Neill from the Wedding Jigsaw podcast. And this, believe it or not, is lucky podcast number 13. So today I have a guy with us who I'm very, very pleased to talk to. Darren Mcgarry is actually still a DJ, but Darren has expanded into a much, much broader area with regards to wedding entertainment. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to talk to him, because realistically, it's a term I hate, but this does describe it. Darren has become a one-stop shop for all of your entertainment requirements. But anyway, enough from me. I'm going to let Darren explain to you what he has been doing and what he is doing in the future. Darren, first of all, tell us a bit about the DJ sort of thing. How long have you been doing that?
I've been a DJ for about 20 years now. Did my first wedding when I was 17, believe it or not. It was a family wedding, of course. Who would let a 17-year-old loose on their wedding? But and then everything kind of just snowballed from that. I started doing one or two a year to one or two a month to 5 or 6 a week. It's in some cases. It's this year's been incredibly crazy. But yeah,
it's been a very strange year, and of course, one of the things that really worked in your favor this year, because I've worked with you at a couple of weddings, is you do more than DJ. Even when I'm talking about the disco thing, you do games and whatnot. I mean, back in the times there when people simply were not allowed to dance at all, you were still able to keep them entertained for hours upon hours.
Yeah. So I've been doing speed quiz and music bingo at sort of corporate events for many years now. So I just was able to just slot it into the weddings, and people were able to enjoy that just from their seats. And it's went down quite well, and it still is, it's still the case. There's still no dancing allowed, and where possible, we're just putting the speed quiz and the music bingo in, and everyone's loving it. I've actually got booked for a quiz there today for next year, so it's people are liking it, and they're wanting it actually to be an official part of weddings going forward, So
I have found that as well. That I mean, obviously the hypnotic bookings have gone way up since the restrictions have been eased a bit, but I'm getting a lot of bookings for next year and the year after from people who probably wouldn't have considered it. But now they've seen it, they've seen other people talking about it, and they think, hey, that's a good idea. I can understand that, certainly, why people would be doing that type of thing. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And so then I know you've now absolutely full-time at it, but in the past you were putting together a sort of a Weddings N.I, which is your nice background there, although people listening to the podcast can't see the background, but it's very good. It says weddingsni.com. And basically Darren's got he's got a situation where a bride can come along, talk to him. As you've heard, he's had a lot of experience in the business for a long time, and they can say, look, I want to do this, 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 and this, and Darren, you can put the package together. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. They can arrange a consultation. It can be a phone call. It can be a message conversation on Facebook or Instagram. It can be a one-on-one. I can come and meet them, or they can come to the office and meet me. Or they can even just go on the website and select their entire package. There's just like add the quote. It's almost like a shopping cart, and you build your package, and we get you a quote for everything, and you can book everything in one place. All the same prices if you were booking all your suppliers direct. It's not just entertainment. There's everything from your wedding cake to your photographers, videographers, and lots of different bits and pieces.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I mean, wedding cars and all that sort of thing. Yes.
Yeah, there's about 20 different wedding cars on there at the minute. And we've got a few more suppliers coming on board. I'm going to be putting them on this week for wedding transport. So I'm not going to give it away yet, but I've got one that I'm quite looking forward to. It's fairly unique as well, So
that's good.
It'll be quite popular.
Brilliant. And so, is it mostly Northern Ireland, or is it the whole of the country, or what?
Yeah, well, it's most of the suppliers are based in Northern Ireland. A lot don't like to travel too far. So we're sort of focusing on Northern Ireland and then the border counties, sort of your Donegal, down in Louth and Monaghan, basically anywhere within a couple of hours drive for just basically suppliers. But maybe eventually we'll expand and go further down and bring more people on board. But at the minute we're just sort of focusing around the local from sort of Belfast, 2 hours out of Belfast, really, each direction.
Yeah, that's good. And you've a good selection of bands, I take it.
Yeah, I think there's about 20 different wedding bands there. There's anything from a 2-piece acoustic right up to 7-piece band with brass. There's also sort of duos, vocal groups, with sort of backing tracks rather than, if you're not interested in the full sort of live music thing. There's vocal groups with backing tracks. There's solo singers. There's any kind of entertainment you can really think of, and we've got it on there.
Are these people, Darren, are these people that you have actually heard and can vouch for yourself?
Most of the people on there are people I've came across over the years. Whether or not I've got speaking to them, a lot of them I haven't actually spoke to in person. It's more just I've seen them seen them play, and then took a wee note down and then contact them. And then there'll be some who've actually contacted me, and then I've went and checked them out, checked out their credentials and their Facebook pages, and make sure they're fairly legit. And then we've got them on board if they tick all the boxes.
That's good. And so then what is the process for a bride or bride and groom? They come onto your website, they look around it, say they see a selection of different things they like. What happens after that?
Yeah, so they can come on, just say they're wanting they maybe get a ceremony singer and they want to pick their band. There's maybe two bands they would like to compare, so they can send all that through to me. So they can pick if there's a photographer or two photographers they can put both on the list. I'll check all the availability for them. So they literally send me one thing, and then I check everything. So check all the availability and the pricing direct from the suppliers. So they would get the direct price from the supplier and the availability, and then if they're wanting to book a package, I can give them a deposit amount for the whole package. They can book one thing and add to it later, or they can book everything at once in the first go. And then once they're booked in, they pay the deposit, all the suppliers are confirmed, and then they can actually log in to the website and pay their package off as the police, up to about 30 days before the wedding, and at no extra cost as well. So it's an extra wee service they've got that they wouldn't maybe normally have if they booked everybody individually.
Yes. And I mean, there's no cost to the bride and groom for this service?
Nothing at all. In some cases, if they book a big enough package, they might actually get a wee exclusive discount where it would actually make it less than if they booked everybody directly. But it just depends how much they put into their package. But yeah, there's definitely no extra costs involved for the brides and grooms.
Well, that's good. So it means they're not constantly having to liaise with everybody.
Exactly.
And as they get closer to their big day, I mean, what about the actual planning of the day, in the sense of, the band you want the band to start at such a time, but they maybe have to be there at another time to be setting up and all that. Do you look after that, or do they do that, or what way does that work?
Yeah, so all timings, sort of all sort of logistical stuff like timings, the function room names, the venue names. Like obviously the ceremony venue might be different from the reception venue, so I'll make sure all the suppliers know the times that they're supposed to be there. The venues. If it's not, a lot of places are the same every week, so if it's a venue that loads of people have been to all the time, we're going to know that off anyway, but everything will be double checked. The bride and groom can also contact all the suppliers directly, and they can contact the bride and groom directly as well. It's all as if they booked direct with these people, it's all nice personal service. They can have consultations with their suppliers that they booked, or they can just go completely through myself if they want. They can ask me one question and I can send it out to all the suppliers and get them all the answers if need be.
What about the situation where maybe a bride is looking, can't make their mind up between two or three bands? How do can they go and see those bands, or do they get videos in the bands? How does that work through your system?
Yeah, so on the website, there's all the bands have their own videos up as well. So there'll be some live videos, there'll be some will be like studio recordings and or like a promo video they've had made up. But generally, it's the live sound that you're hearing, so you will be able to hear what they actually sound like. And then obviously, if they're doing, we can't really invite people to people's weddings. I don't like doing that. You can't really invite strangers to someone else's wedding just to see a band, but there will be showcases around the country. We'll keep in touch. A lot of bands play in bars as well. Out around the country. So we'll keep in touch with the bands and find out if there's anywhere near them if they want to hear them out live. Wedding shows as well is a great place to hear bands. Down the line, I'll maybe put on a couple of showcases. If people are interested. Once this COVID has disappeared properly, we'll maybe look at that. It'll be a bit more viable. And we can do maybe sort of biannual showcases to showcase all the bands. But that's all sort of in the future, hopefully.
That'll be very good. That'll be very, very useful, definitely. And how have you found this has been going for you? I know you've been doing it for quite a while part-time, but I know you're full-time now.
Yeah, so we've only started full-time this week, so I've got a lot of plans just to implement, but yeah, it's been going busy. We've been getting bookings. We haven't actually started properly advertising yet. We're doing a lot of wedding shows this year just to give it a nice big boost. But without a doubt, I think this is going to take off properly once I actually get behind it fully. we've had a bit of a it was a bit of a sort of, it was left there for a couple of months just to kind of take over and some, because obviously I had weddings myself to do. July and August was a wee bit crazy, but now we're sort of slowing down a wee bit. I have a bit more time to promote and stuff, and we've just launched our competition there actually. The finalists were announced today, so there's 4 finalists and they win their entire wedding package planned entirely by us, except for they don't know what they've won until the big day, so it's don't tell the bride. So they'll, without a doubt, it'll be a fantastic sort of package they'll get, but they don't know what car's coming to pick them up. They don't know what their cake's going to look or taste like. I'll meet with them obviously first to get the idea of what they do like, but they're putting basically trusting their entire wedding in our hands, which is going to be fun, you know. But they've got nothing to do. I did have one finalist did pull out now because she was a wee bit worried. She wasn't entirely sure what she was entering. I think she thought she was getting something, just a nice prize, but she says no, that's unfortunately not how it works. So she pulled out. So we're just getting one final finalist today, and hopefully by tomorrow we'll have them picked, and then it'll be up to a public vote to see who wins.
Brilliant.
And they'll get everything from their entertainment, their cars, their everything but their suits, their dresses, and their rings. They just buy that, and we supply the rest all free of charge. And it'll be hopefully well documented, and we will get like a good few reactions caught on camera.
Absolutely.
But, something different, you know.
That's a mega prize.
Yeah. So hopefully maybe run it every couple of years, but it's just to give the website a nice big starting boost.
Yeah, definitely.
Give somebody an amazing wedding as well, that stress free. They don't have to plan anything, you know.
Well, stress free, except they don't know what's coming.
Yeah. So hopefully the finalists are nice and laid back, but we'll be meeting with them plenty to get their tastes and stuff. So it will be designed to their specifications, but just not they'll just not know about it.
That's brilliant. That's really. I tell you, you know, I can just some of the brides I've dealt with over the years, you know, they would tear their hair out.
Well, there has been people that have entered and then have realised what they've entered and then have pulled out again. So you know, it's they just see the like and share competition and they've just fired on ahead and they're actually reading the whole thing. But yeah, I think the people who've got, I think, are looking forward to it. You know, so be something different anyway. You know,
it's fantastic. That's really good. Yeah, brilliant. So you're still going to keep the DJing going yourself, yes?
Oh yeah, that's your passion essentially. It's kind of built in. I think once you've been DJing for 20 years, it's very very difficult to get out of. You know, yeah. But and it's something I enjoy. You know, so maybe things will get a bit too busy here, and I might have to cut back a few gigs and stuff. But at the minute, it's going to be going still going strong. We've bookings up to 2024, so I can't just leave it just yet. You know?
No, definitely not.
It's one of those things I'll have to decide to quit 3 years in advance, I think. You know?
And just talking about the DJing, then, are once again, is it sort of Ulster counties and Louth, say, for the sake of argument?
Exactly the same. I tend to get booked up locally anyway. First, so but if someone sends me you know, an inquiry for Slag or a Cavan, I send them a quote, and if they book it, they book it. It's just first in. But it's mostly sort of Ballymena. I'll be busy in Ballymena, Belfast, down in Enniskillen. I would be down quite a bit, you know. So I do travel most of the country, you know. I have a few in Donegal there. So I would be out and about. So
yeah, and
so,
you know,
but yeah. I would travel. At some point, I would travel.
Right, fair enough. And the package, the DJ package, does it vary a bit, or is it fairly standard?
Yeah, so we basically got two DJ packages on their own. So there's basically your after band package. So, or if someone's got some other entertainment, possibly like yourself doing a hypnotist show, or a Ceilidh band, or just a full live band, then I can do a sort of half night or a setup at the start of the night anyway. So everything's ready to go. I can do their first dances and then they can continue with their other entertainment. Then I take over later in the night, or there's just a full evening, usually 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., 5 hours. And I just provide all your music. You can do some party games if you want, Mr. and Mrs. That's all optional. I don't sort of force that. You sort of let me know beforehand, and we can sort that out. And then we've got bigger packages as well, with photo booths and light up letters and LED dance floors, you know, as well. So and they can add on wee bits and pieces.
So are those things that you supply yourself, or are those?
So the photo booth's my own company that I own, and then I have a good friend of mine does the LED dance floor with me. He's done them from the start, so It's kind of basically like a part of the same business almost. It's got to be, but
Mm.
so they do all the dance stores for me, and I've a few sets of light up letters, and then have another guy that fills in the gaps of that, so like some initials and stuff we wouldn't have.
Mm.
So he would supply them if we need be,
Yeah, that's good.
have your contacts.
Right. That's handy enough then. So you can it just varies basically whatever the person wants.
Yeah, so they just tell me basically the way it's kind of grown now. They just send me an email with everything they need, and I go get it for them. It can be anything from a flower wall, the candy cart. They just people just ask, and I usually have someone that can do it for me.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I keep coming across things that I've never seen before. I mean, there's a guy. It's quite weird. Bumped into a guy. It's probably a couple of years ago now. Now to think about the whole COVID thing, it affects the memory. They've been doing nothing for a gap. But this guy was at a show and it was a donut stand.
Yeah,
On kegs,
yeah.
And he came up to me and it's how you doing? I said, how you? Turned out I lived beside him for 21 years when I was growing up as a kid, but we hadn't seen each other for a long, long time,
Yeah.
I thought that's cool, just
Yeah.
something different completely.
Yeah. I've seen them out and about myself now. Actually, it's not something I would want to get into, but
No. It struck me. Well, yeah, it doesn't fit with stuff that we're doing, after donuts,
yeah, exactly.
stuff going stale and not tasting
Yeah,
right and all the rest of it. No, sticky fingers. No, probably end up eating too many of them anyway.
yeah, exactly.
But it's nice to see the different ideas that come along, and every now and again you see something totally different.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that long ago everybody had a photo booth, but nobody had a photo mirror.
Yeah.
Then they were in for a while, then they seem to have gone out. It's
Yeah,
really
well,
weird.
I've guys there that do selfie mirrors for me, but the photo booth's still more popular. I find, but it's maybe just because I have a photo booth, but I find the photo booth still more popular than the mirror. Well, it's essentially a similar thing. It just looks the outside. It just looks a bit different. But
Mhm.
I was when I started doing this 20 years ago, it was you had a DJ or a band and you had a buffet, and that was your night's entertainment sorted.
Is it? Yeah.
Now it's unicorns and all sorts of things. It's gone mad. But
It really is. It's you never know what you're going to see now.
exactly.
We did a wedding with a casino probably 5 years ago up at Solus Loch Esk,
Yeah.
and when they booked this for the second day. The wedding had been the day before. They booked us for the Sunday afternoon, and they had a full wedding the day before, full big band night that night. They were having us in the afternoon of Sunday and a different band on Sunday night. Yeah. And at one point, we had set the casino up. It was a beautiful day, I remember, and we weren't ready to start, or they weren't ready to come in and play. I took it down to outside, and there they had a biplane plane flying over the venue with it trailing congratulations to so and so and so. And I thought,
Well,
that's crazy. But when I was talking to the management that day, and they were telling me that they were getting stacks of weddings from London because it was actually cheaper then for people to fly their guests over and do the wedding at Solus Loch Esk with the difference in the pound and the euro and so
yeah.
on than it was to actually pay London prices.
I could believe that.
Yeah, crazy. Probably worse now too.
Yeah, definitely.
It never ceases to amaze me what you come across at weddings.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, everything's going from strength to strength with you.
Yeah, seems to be so far, in the middle of a pandemic too. So I'm fairly happy about that. Obviously last year was a bit different, but we've came out swinging, and it's looking very promising. For
Brilliant.
the next year onwards.
Well, the website is weddingsni.com.
Yeah, that's it. Weddings N.I.
Okay. And what other ways can people get hold of you, Darren?
Yeah, so they can go through the website, obviously weddingsni.com. They can email us, info@weddingsni.com. We are on Instagram, I think it's at weddings.ni. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/weddings Northern Ireland, because Weddings N.I was taken, unfortunately. And then, or anybody can give me a call at any time on my mobile. It's 0774 915 0216. I'll be happy to speak to you, or just message us through any of the pages. That mobile number also works on WhatsApp. We're here any way you need us, essentially.
That's brilliant. Well, I will put all of those details wherever way you're listening to this, be it on one of the different podcasting sites, it'll be attached to that. Or if you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be underneath the video as well. So you'll be able to get hold of Darren easily. That's great, Darren. Darren, I ask everybody this. It's a bit of a one-off question. What advice, what's the biggest piece of advice you would give, the most important piece of advice you would give to a couple who are getting married? Now, it doesn't have to be about entertainment or anything else, but what's the first thing comes to your mind?
At the minute, I would say if you have a supplier you want to book them right now, because availability is very, very limited for the next 2 years with a lot of people I've been dealing with, including myself and all suppliers. Just because of the backlogs that are all getting cleared. Even your venue might not even be available on the date that you're thinking. So if you've just recently got engaged and you haven't booked a venue and you have a venue in mind, get in touch with them ASAP to get the date that you want. Or else you might get stuck with a weekday, essentially, and that's what I would say. Just at the minute,
Actually, just when you say that, I have come across something lately, and I wonder if you have had the same experience. I'm coming across more and more events now, weddings in particular, that are being done in people's back gardens. Now they need to have a back garden big enough to do it. I was at one there on, what night was it? Saturday night, and it was a fairly nice back garden. Now, they had one of these big, not a tent, but like a canopy over the top. A number of poles, and then they're all stretched so that it did rain, they were covered, they were safe, And they'd done a fantastic job. They had obviously brought in caterers. They'd hired furniture. They had beautiful cream sofas lying all over the place and tables and whatnot. The big sort of burner type lights that give out the heat. And they had a DJ blasting away. And it was just brilliant. And I was talking to the bride's mother, and she said it was still cheaper doing all that than it would have been hiring the venue.
So maybe that'll be the way forward. Again, something else that I haven't thought. Well, we'll have had one or two. There was we'll get a lot of sort of if it's a more of a rural setting, they've got large sheds and large barns, and they've been converting these, and some of them have been absolutely phenomenal looking. And the way they've done it up, when you're inside, you don't even know where you think you're in a wedding venue. And they've got proper coordinators and proper toilets and everything.
Funny you should say that. One of the things about last Saturday night with the toilets, they were obviously brought in.
Yeah, like a porta cabin.
They were better than most hotels. Luxury, absolute luxury.
I was sort of, you're walking up and it's like a trailer. You're getting into, but when you get in, it's like all marble and better than my own bathroom. It's like what's.
I was very impressed with it. It was quite brilliant.
People are thinking outside the box these days.
I think they've been forced into it because they can't get the venues.
As well. So it's good. It's good to see. It's as well. And they are being done very, very well too.
Yeah. And I suppose it does give them that wee bit more freedom as well.
Yeah. Plus there's no finish time, you can party to So as a DJ, I've done many a times where I've been there to 4 a.m. still going strong, it's but it can be good fun, if they're
as long as the vibe is good, you don't mind that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only one person staggering about the dance floor. For God's sake, would you collapse or go home? One of the
two. Very true.
Yeah. Well, listen, Darren, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope the information now has been worth it to any bride or groom listening. Because certainly you can make life an awful lot easier for people and take a lot of the pain out of decisions. And the fact that it's not just entertainment, the fact that it's wedding cards, wedding cakes, everything. What about the likes of suits and stuff like that?
I haven't got any suits suppliers just yet, but I haven't had time to even get around them. But we do have a wedding dress outlet on board based in Belfast there, based at the Love Wedding Studio. So you can actually buy your wedding dress in your package, essentially, if you want to. But we've no suits at the minute, but it is something we're looking into.
Definitely, it's worth doing, I suppose. Yeah, absolutely. Well, great. Thank you very much, Darren. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And as I say, I think this is going to be a more comprehensive broadcast for people to listen to.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Well, hopefully I'll see you in the future. Well, I know I will.
I'm sure you will, yeah.
Okay. Folks, thank you very much for listening to the Wedding Podcast. This is Donald O'Neill signing off, and from Darren as well. Goodbye.
Goodbye.